Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and I have a Dealer's Choice League from Patreon subscriber Diz, who requested that I play a control deck. And that's perfect timing because Murders at Karlov Manor gave us Cryptic Coat, 2 and a blue, artifact equipment. When Cryptic Coat enters the battlefield, cloak the top card of your library, then attach this to it. A cloaked card, by the way, is a face-down 2/2 creature with Ward 2. You can turn it face-up for its mana cost if it's a creature. Equipped creature gets +1/+0, can't be blocked, and 1 and a blue returns Cryptic Coat to your hand. This is a fun new grindy engine for Stoneforge Mystic decks. If you watch the channel every day, you saw me get smoked by this in Modern the other day, and I got very excited and immediately had to brew around it. I knew I had this brew from Diz in the queue to record, and I'm excited I saved it for this. Cryptic Coat's a really interesting equipment because it doesn't have an equip ability. There's nowhere on the card where it says, like, cost : equip this to a creature. It's really meant to just be worn by the top card of your deck, and when you need another one, you pick it up and you put it back down. And this doesn't work like a Batterskull, like a Phyrexian Germ. If nothing else is going on, you could just pick the unblockable +1/+0 up off your 2/2 Ward 2 and play it and get another one. And just spam activations of this if things get into the dregs. Really cool card advantage engine. It also bridges the gap nicely, where Stoneforge Mystic has this nasty little habit of just dying every time you play it. And then you're left with a 5-drop or a 7-drop in your hand, and you're like, okay, now I have this card. Hope I can brainstorm it away someday. But Cryptic Coat just happens on the next turn, whether they kill the Stoneforge or not. They're still incentivized to kill Stoneforge because getting this for 2 mana and uncounterable and being able to cut 1 mana off the loop every turn is powerful. But then you could just play this anyway with your next land drop. Very cool. And I have included this card in what's otherwise a pretty normal Jeskai Stoneblade deck. Going back to my roots a bit here, lots of basic lands. We got 7 of them in the deck. Back to basics right in the main deck. I've been playing against lands a lot in the leagues lately, and I hope that this main deck back to basics catches a few of them. 4th Aerlingus at the top for when you have a wide open space to get some horses in. And this is just a classic Swords to Plowshares, Force of Will, Brainstorm, Ponder control deck. You know I love those. And Stoneforge Mystic is the core engine. Cryptic Coat is the new hotness. Let's try this out. This is Jeskai Stoneblade. Come meet me at MagicCon Chicago. In addition to my official creator booth with Raymond Yu on Friday morning, I'll have a second meet and greet opportunity Saturday morning at the 3-for-1 trading booth from 10 to 11 a.m., right before the Legacy for Original Art tournament starts. Big thanks to 3-for-1 for continuing to provide opportunities like this. Do some shopping at their booth in Chicago, or check out shop.3for1trading.com. I'm on the play in round number 1, Island Ponder. Let's go. Stoneforge Mystic is a nice follow-up compared to the bigger control decks where the second mana really gets you going. It's not like, okay, I have to ponder, then find a land, then ponder again, and hope to cast a 3-drop at some point. You just get going on 2. Stoneforge Mystic rules. I got blue cards to pitch to this Force of Will. I have no choice except to play around Wasteland here, because Prismatic Vista is my land. Oh, baby. Give me the goods. Just 3 lands off that ponder. Always keep. Opponent's on a mull to 5. Let's see what dirty tricks they're up to. Okay, we've got a Surveil land here. These are exciting. These are new from Murders of Karlov Manor, and I think they are going to see play in Legacy. I mean, we're literally playing against it right now, so bold prediction. But they are good enough, and they enable cool stuff. Like, you could turn Worldly Tutor into Entomb with a Surveil trigger on your fetch land. Okay, they forced... Oh, we got a Island Ponder keep. Nice, haha, in the chat. They know. They know what's up. They forced, I forced. I'm going to pitch True Name here. But yeah, these lands, just fetchable way to manipulate your deck is very cool. And I'm just going to grab Cauldron here because I think this is a combo matchup, or at least Well, if it is a fair blue matchup, it's low resource right now, and putting the damage on with Kaldra is where I want to be. At force pitch to Brainstorm. Yeah, we don't really know anything yet. Saltai, that's fun. Oh no. Oh, they missed the Kaldra. Bad beats. We won our coin flip there, and the clock is on. I wonder if this is some sort of like Witherbloom Apprentice combo deck, or what's going on over there. It's very cool and has new cards in it. Uro, I've been betrayed. Imagine fetching the Underground Sea you were going to fetch anyway and just putting Uro straight into the graveyard. That would be so sick. Yeah, I expect these to see play, is what I'm saying. Okay, I ripped the land for Teferi. I like that a lot. I'm going to fetch another island here, play Teferi. I'm not sure what Teferi does here, but it definitely bounces Uro next turn, at the very least. Which means I'm going to plus Teferi, try to keep him around for a turn, and tempo my way through this game. Opponent's got one card in hand and an Uro in their graveyard that they can't currently cast. They neither have the lands to escape it, or the cards to escape it, nor the mana to cast it. Wasteland can waste itself. Okay, this Cycle of Luring revealed both gives them card number 5 and the blue source that they needed. I don't love tempoing through an Uro, but oh, that's so much worse. Oh, come on, chill. Oh, is this that stupid deck Phil beat me with last week? I mean, that doesn't matter too much because I have Teferi in play. Oh, the Lingus. Yeah, Teferi can bounce Kaldra, then I just put it back in. Second Lingus. Okay, I'm going to brainstorm and see if I could come up with a red source. I cannot, it turns out. Put back these Lingai, and I guess I have to clear Jace here, even though I wish I didn't have to do that. Attack Jace. Yeah, that was scary. Glad I didn't just randomly minus my Teferi. And now I have Plow for Uro. It looks like a blue-white deck, but plays like an aggro deck. We're having a good time here. They are unfortunately going to gain 9 life and draw a card off of this Uro ETB plus the Plow. There it is. And they're fetching in response. I wonder if they're going to get a Surveil land and try to make this draw better. Nope, getting Zaggoth Triumph. Okay. Remember, folks, if you run out to buy your legacy set of these new dual lands, I have a TCG player link that helps me out for free. Costs nothing to you and benefits the channel if you're doing some shopping anyway. Just gonna Plow Uro and attack. I guess with only one white source, I don't get to shuffle. I have to draw the second, fourth Aerolingus now. That kind of sucks. Alright, stop having bangers. This is another Jace. No, not for that mana. Oh, fourth Aerolingus. That's a banger. It's worse than Jace, but it is a banger. Ponder. They shuffled the Ponder. Good news. They are dead on board here. Next turn, I just need my luck to hold. And Stoneforge Mystic is going to tutor for... Do I want to get the coat? I can't effectively use Lion Sash this game. Yeah, I'm going to get the coat. Unblockable creature. Hell yeah. Wish I had one more mana to cast it. Would have been perfect. Teferi's back up to 4, though. If they find another answer to Kaldra, I can once again bounce and redeploy. And they scooped it. Cool. All right. Feel like we got pretty lucky there, but I'll take it. Back to Basics going to be a heater in this matchup. Okay, what did we see? We saw Jace the Mind Sculptor. That means I want my Red Blast in. Deafening Silence, Containment Priest, Dress Down, Hydroblast, Surgical maybe, no Meltdown, no to these other cards. Definitely Pyroblast. I didn't see a lot for Wandering Emperor to do. The fourth Aerolingus was like awkward to draw, as my mana is constructed in the way that it is. You get and you lose when you play 7 basics in a legacy deck. Sometimes you just can't cast your spells, but my opponent also had Wasteland in play for half that game and could never use it. Pros and cons. I'm wondering about Solitude. I'm wondering about Wandering Emperor. I need one more cut here. I kind of like all 5 forces when I know they're playing bangers like Jace the Mind Sculptor. Though kind of the point of bringing in Pyroblast is that it's easier to use than force. So do I want it to be more or do I want it to be easier? I think I'm actually just going to cut Solitude. Other than Uro, I didn't really see any creature stuff going on there. Okay, let's go. And we did see Hymn to Turok that game. I have no real plan for that card. I have 1 Spell Pierce in my deck.
And I will be taking a mulligan. Keep this one. And bottom, Wandering Emperor. I think that's the one that's farthest away from useful here. They're fetching a Misty Rainforest, Tropical Island, and a Ponder. You got it. Good start. True Name Nemesis. We've got something to do now. I will also ponder Force of Will, Beaskull, Tundra. I do like the Force. I don't like the Batterskull. Finding Tundra means I can fetch basic Mountain also if I feel like I'm going to need a Red Blast. They did shuffle their Ponder last turn. I don't know if I was paying attention to that, but they did shuffle it, and now we have a Brainstorm before their land drop. They do have a land drop, though. I'm not going to cycle Lorien Revealed before my draw. I actually do want land number 3 to play the game here. I don't like that it's Tundra. I would prefer to play with basics, but it's what I got. They're fetching. We're going to see that Sweet Surveil? Yeah, we are. Dumping a Force of Will. Okay. They're either not ready to have a counter war compared to just hitting land drops or whatever, or they already have one. Okay, I'm going to fetch here. I actually think I want basic plains. I know I said I could fetch mountain, but I'm not really ready for that. And if my plan is to shove a 3-drop this turn, it's not like that's happening soon either. Tundra, do I think Teferi or True Name's better? I'm going to start with the True Name. This one can be surprising to present-day Legacy decks. Answers exist for it, but it is a kind of a quaint card where it's like, oh, this. Whoops. A Dress Down means that True Name is just a 3/1 creature and can die to stuff, but if I fight over it, then I don't have Force in my hand anymore. Alright, I'll take my 3/1 creature. I can bounce it with Teferi and replay it later if I need to. We'll just see what happens. It's not like they're interacting with it currently anyway. The next turn I can protect Teferi with a Red Blast, unless he got Wastelanded. End step fetch. Zagoth. Inquisition of Kozilek. Alright, well, this can take Teferi or Red Blast, which either way borks my plan of protecting Teferi with Red Blast. This is the second time in recent memory, though, where Inquisition of Kozilek couldn't take important cards from my hand. The last time someone cast it against me, it just fully missed. I just had a bunch of stuff that they could not affect. Right, grabbing a Force of Will. I think that 2 life is usually worth it in Legacy, and if you don't want to spend 2 life, then Duress is pretty good deal. Okay, so they just put Force on top of their deck, and then Uro draws the Force, and Wasteland can hit my Tundra. They know I have 2 more lands in my hand. Well, 1.5. 1 and functionally another one if I want it. And this True Name Nemesis is still a 3/1. We're still out here, still doing the thing. Ooh, the coat. Get your jacket on. We're going. Straight to the market. In with True Name. This is why I didn't fight over Dress Down. It's still a 3-power creature. And I'm going to jam the coat. Let's have a conversation about this. I know they're holding Force of Will. They know I'm holding Force of Will. Is this a fight they want to fight, or do they want to fight over Uro, who they know I could fight over twice? Force pitching Ponder. And I'm just going to Red Blast here, which does let them Wasteland, but I take 2-for-1s where they're presented to me. We're in there, and that is a Swords to Plowshares underneath. That's just going to stay a 2/2 ward. And they know I'm still holding Force Blue card. Yowza, okay, they played around it. Well, that's going to resolve. Yeah, I would take Lorien Revealed instead of the Force here as well. Good call. They do need a land to play Uro, though. Oh, that Uro is legal. And now if I draw a land, I can cloak another creature every turn. If I draw a land, I can't just hold up Force because they have Wasteland. Black in the pool, Fatal Pushing, my True Name, that's gone. You did it. Alright, cool. The Cloak engine is online. In for 3. They can play Uro next turn. Pick up the coat. Play the coat. I guess that was also a blue card for Force that I could have just sat on. Just cloaked another coat. Yeah, I think I may have just messed up versus the Uro. I need a white removal spell here anyway. Ooh, Abrupt Decay. Brutal. Okay. They're spending time on this engine rather than just dropping Uro into play. I think I like that. And now I can hardcast Force, even through a Wasteland. Alright, I mean, that was good for 3 cards. I have 2 creatures in play, and they had to destroy it. That was a 3-for-1. Their graveyard is huge, though. Even if they cast Uro here and I counter it, they could cast it again next turn, and then I gotta figure that out. A Force of Will. I can put them to 5, then I gotta deal with an Uro. B-Skull, what's up? I do like a Batter Skull. I don't know that it beats Uro, but it's a draw I'm not going to complain about, that's for sure. So they go to 8, and they have a 6/6 in play. They might be sitting on this Wasteland to deal with a Caracas, a card that I'm not playing, but it's good to be aware of. Uro puts you to 8. Got a Tropical Island. Oh, that's not the worst card I've ever seen. This reconfigures for 2 colorless. I can equip this onto Batter Skull and have a bigger creature than Uro. Or I could diversify my beats and put the sash onto Swords to Plowshares creature. Then I have 4/4 and I'm getting through for 6 either way. Yeah, reconfigure onto Swords to Plowshares creature. And I'm just going to attack with everything. Okay, they are blocking, which means I don't have to do anything. They go to 2. Lion Sash falls off. And I'm going to exile this Uro right now while I can before they can do anything with it. And then pass the turn. Maybe sequencing in a way that leaves up basic planes on their Wasteland active turn is better. Like if they Wasteland my Tundra, switch phases, then do something out of the graveyard. That's pretty effective. Polluted Delta. They tapped a bunch of mana, then untapped it and played Polluted Delta. If they attack with Uro, they're dead on the backswing. If they don't attack with Uro, they're dead in combat. A Lion Sash, exile, Flooded Strand from my graveyard. I just want this thing big. I'm not super worried about their graveyard right now. If they just Snapcaster Abrupt Decayed, I would have deserved it so bad. Okay. If I just attack with all my creatures, they would need 2 removal spells to win. I'm going to try that. Attack with all my creatures. Okay, cool. Just a Cryptic Coat, 3 for 1, and then we just barely got over the finish line here. I think they had a turn to escape Uro 1 turn earlier than they did pretty safely, the turn that they Abrupt Decayed the coat. I think Uro just outmuscles that and you can decay next turn, and then I think I lose this game. But that was a lot of fun and a good immediate showcase of the new card. Let's go.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw for round 2 with a hand that doesn't do much of anything. No blue card for the forest. I have the Cauldron, not a Stoneforge. I would keep this with a Stoneforge. I'd keep it with a blue card, but I don't have any of those things. And a mulligan. Here we go. I will keep this and bottom Prismatic Vista. Forest blue card, white removal spells. No plan of my own yet, but whatever your plan is, I'm going to slow it down. A Sokenzan. That's not in Honest decks. Flooded Strand represent the basic planes. I really hope they put some effort into Blood Mooning me here. That would be great. Blood Moon, Blood Moon. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I'm actually going to force this. This is one of a very small number of cards in Red Stompy that is worth 2 cards when my hand already has a bunch of white removal in it. Island, pass. I'd really like a Stoneforge Mystic. That card is so good against these decks. I had a match at Grand Prix Niagara Falls where I played Stoneblade in the main event. I had a match where I beat Red Stompy in a game where I cast 1 spell. I cast Stoneforge Mystic. It tutored Batterskull. I put in Batterskull. They had to attack with their Rabblemaster tokens into it every turn. And this was the fear of the follow-up. But yeah, they had to attack with their Batterskull, or their Goblin tokens every turn. And then I got to attack as well, so I was just gaining 8 life per turn cycle. Just didn't cast another spell. Stoneforge? I'm gonna Prismatic Ending the Chrome Mox, just to try to slow them down at all, but now that they're in the initiative, I need a creature real quick. They still forged. Hell yeah. What a boss. They're like, yeah, I'm going to get you from 18. I don't need card selection. If they have a follow-up Caves of Chaos Adventure here, they're probably right. Okay, fetch. And I can just get a basic island here and ignore this card. Or I could float Mana with Tundra and plow this card. With 2 cards left in their hand, yeah, I'm just going to get basic island. Come on, True Name Nemesis. Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, Teferi's not good, but it does draw a card. Force of Negation. Not helpful anymore. They trap me here. I'm at 12. Now they have a Rabble Master. Okay. Do you care about Teferi? You do. Okay. Still be pretty happy with the True Name Nemesis here, deck. Now's the time. Stoneforge Mystic, True Name Nemesis. Not that one. Just going to plow Rabble Master before it does anything and pass. All right, now they get to go into the throne. It's going to be a lot harder to win. And if their best play is Magus the Moon here and the throne doesn't spike, this looks like a chalice, though, the way the mana's leaving their pool on Magic Online. Yep. Brutal. Stoneforge could still win this game. It could happen. Hashtag Copium. Fable. All right, they suddenly have a bunch of good cards. Rabble Master, Fable. And they drew an extra card off the dungeon. True Name. All right, we're done. Okay, I mean, this is a matchup that I consider good. The initiative didn't exist in 2019 at GP Niagara, but Red Stompy did, and this was one of the decks that I chose Stoneblade to be good against. Dress down, it's a blue blast. Back to basics doesn't matter. Like, they do have non-basic lands, but I don't think that's how I'm actually going to beat them. Forces are good. Solitude's good. My creatures are good. Lion Sash doesn't actually matter as Lion Sash. Like, their graveyard doesn't matter. It is just another body I can put in, though, where that game was all about just not having a body. If I had a single body to take the initiative for like a 3-turn window, that would have been pretty trivial. Teferi can get cut. I think I am cutting the Lion Sash, even though it meets all those other criteria. Containment Priest can shut down the Throne of the Dead 3, and it's also just another body to challenge with. Fourth Aerlingus might be dangerous, but it is also my source of haste creatures. Supreme Verdict probably worth a slot. I'm actually looking at Cryptic Coat as potentially a cut here. Maybe I cut one of the fourth Aerlinguses and rock it like this. No lands, got a mulligan. This one has the same problem the last hand did, that it doesn't pressure, but it does have Brainstorm, which the last hand didn't have. I'm going to keep this and put... God, every single card here is important in my plan. A Prismatic Ending is the air quotes worst card here, but it is one of only 2 answers that I play to Chalice of the Void without having to force it. Opponent kept 7. I guess I'll bottom this Prismatic Ending. Not happy with that decision, but mulligans suck. What do you want me to do? I can force a Chalice in an emergency, which it does appear they're doing immediately. Yeah, cool. All right. I'm going to fetch for Basic Island and Brainstorm here and see if I can find something. Always had it. Okay. Your spell resolves. Just had to draw the other one. I did shuffle. This could be the same one, but you know what I mean. Gotta spend 2 mana on this so the Chalice doesn't counter it. Answered. There's a Volcanic Island on top of my deck. Den of the Bugbear. Have to force here. Wish I could have just dressed this down and plowed it, but I don't have that. It's not there for me. We're through the Brainstorm, survived the first 2 turns, which were both bangers, by the way. Now if they just, like, play Broadside Bombardiers or some shit, we get a lot of action on those plays. Magus of the Moon. I do have to interact with this one. Plow it. I'm not set up, even though my deck is generally really good at that. That's another basic island if I need one. 1 card in hand. A little worried. Where's my True Name? Rabble Master resolves. Plow it. Okay, True Name Nemesis. Stoneforge Mystic. Come on, deck. Brainstorm. Ponder. The Wandering Emperor. Okay, they just killed their City of Traders to get a second red source. What does that mean? Someday, that might be useful. If they just start firing up Den of the Bugbear, that avoids Supreme Verdict. Yep, that is what's happening. Come on, deck. Swords to Plowshares, or Stoneforge Mystic, True Name Nemesis. Concealing Coat. There's so many good draws here. That's not one of them. Now Batterskull's a good draw too. Oh no. I didn't include Mystic Sanctuary in the deck because we're a back to basics deck. Not super interested in that. It would be fine here though, just to pick up Brainstorm and try to do something. Bugbear wakes up again. I mean, it's pretty exciting if that's the best thing their hand can do. That might mean they're holding some shit like Fury. Spell. Useful spell. Stop. Okay, I'm going to hold on to this one in case I draw Brainstorm. This is a card I could turn into a real card. Den of the Bugbear, 3, 4, 5, 6. I go to 3 on this attack. I'm dead to Den of the Bugbear, even if I Wrath now. Now it's too late for Stoneforge. I have to just rip the Batterskull straight up. Come on, deck. 4th Aerlingus. Well, I can fetch 2 of these lands. Yeah, I can't even fetch all 3 of my lands. Life is pain. Okay, 4th Aerlingus. And I'm still dead because I had to fetch. Damn! Yeah, my plan was to just not attack, but this showed up 1 turn too late. We could see how this matchup is winnable for them, but we could also see how, you know, if I just looked at a Stoneforge Mystic, I'm 18 cards in my deck. This game went pretty deep last game. Just literally any card would have been fine. Yes, they have correctly identified that they could attack for lethal. All right, good job. On to the next round. That was disappointing.
If you're looking to run a CEDH or 1v1 tournament, Eminence Gaming has your back with Command Tower. With Command Tower's intuitive tournament manager dashboard, you can handle decklist submission and player management with just a few clicks. Players just need to scan the event's QR code for access to the full tournament bracket, including seamless pairings and real-time standing updates. Take the guesswork out of tournament organizing. Try Command Tower for your next event.
I'm on the play. Nope, the draw. In round 2. 3. Let's start that again. I'm on the draw at round 3, and this hand is fine. I'm going to keep it. I got Force Blue card, lands to play the game. Opponent says hi, YouTube. Everyone say hi to Tavendara. Wooded Foothills. Suspicious. Are you Rug Delver or are you Storm? Oh, we're just Rhinos. Turn 1, a can of Rhinos. That works too. Well, I'm going to Force of Will pitching Lorien Revealed on these Rhino can. Do they have the full nuts? No, okay. Spent 2 Spirit Guides on that. Able to pump the brakes a little bit. True Name Nemesis. I've been calling for you for the last 30 minutes. Now you show up. They suspended another Footfalls. I'd love a Ponder or another land, just something to move this game forward. Right now I'm a little worried. Maybe I was supposed to pitch Cryptic Coat and keep Lorien Revealed. But at the time, my hand, this was the 3-drop in my hand, and I've drawn these 2 since then. Hindsight 2020, I would have pitched the Coat, but we're here now. Just need to draw a land and we're fine. Rhino's down to 3. Got a Wasteland, luckily in my deck. Largely immune to that. It does cast 3 mana spells, though, which their deck has a lot of important ones. Come on, deck. Land. Land number 3. Ponder, okay. I will ponder to find land number 3. Ponder, please. Oh no. Well, if I put Force of Will in my hand now, and then just jam True Name onto the board next turn with that Volcanic Island before it dies, that is a plan. Now I don't die on the spot to Minsc and Boo. The Shardless Agent has been good for 8 points already here. Land number 4. They might try to Blood Moon me here. I don't know if that's in the main deck. It's definitely in the sideboard. Not off this mana. You're not going to Blood Moon me. All right. The Great Ape Escape. Okay. I'm going to get 1 shot with this Volcanic Island. I'm going to use it to cast True Name Nemesis. They got 1 card in their hand. Rhinos do trample, so True Name doesn't stop most things, but it does stop what's on the board already. Batterskull's really good against Rhinos. They haven't Wastelanded me yet. I wonder if they're holding Lorien Revealed and they're just looking for a reload. Oh, they're attacking. Oh, do they play Stomp? That would be a blowout. Got the full modern technology. Okay, they're just pushing damage. And figured out the Wasteland in my upkeep. Oof. Alright, well, now I don't even have to win the counter war over Crashing Footfalls. How does this work? Like, if I try to counter Footfalls and they fight over it, they're hellbent. I think I should just force this, even though I'm very close to just answering these rhinos. A good chance their 2-card hand just beats the force. Okay. We survived that. Don't have more. Let me get set up a little bit before you do more stuff. Cycling Lorien Revealed. I was right, they did have Lorien Revealed, but then decided the Wasteland was still correct to use. Oh no, don't have a Shardless Agent here. That would be really bad. Oh, that's so much worse. I need Swords to Plowshares right now. Swords to Plowshares off the top. Plow, 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 plow. Yeah! Always had it. Swords to Plowshares right now before they can untap and cast Force of Negation. Okay. Back to stability. There are Minskin Boos in their deck. I need a land to start playing the game before they get their next big thing going. I lose on the spot to an instant Violent Outburst because my removal sorcery speed. 4 in the pool. What is this? They playing Jace? Just casting a subtlety? What's going on? We are seeing kind of the new legacy versus the old legacy here. Like decks that just play Beanstalk or do crazy stuff early and often, turn 1, 10 power kind of stuff, versus a deck that it's like, aha, I only play basic lands. How will you wasteland me? Which was actually just a giant juke 5 years ago. And now it's like, yeah, okay, cool. You're still dead. Can I draw a land though, for real? I am going Berserk. Force of Negation does insulate me versus Minskin Boo and the next can of Rhinos, both of which are things I'm worried about. But I would like to play Magic, please. So once again, much of this my own fault for not keeping the Lorien revealed on that first Force of Will. I just thought I would do better than this by now. Okay, I think I want Force of Will in my hand, and I want to draw Island next turn. And then I can start casting my coat and playing the game. They got 5 mana over there. I don't want to have to counter a Lorien Revealed, but I think I do if they cast it. Okay, Island, and my next card is also a land, isn't it? It is. I'm actually not going to cast the coat yet, because I don't want to cloak a land. And now I'm holding up Hardcast Force of Negation plus Pitchcast Force of Will if I need to do 2 things. A Wasteland, okay. Was this a Tundra or a Fetch? I think it was a Tundra, right? Am I remembering? Yeah, okay. So obviously rip that straight into the Wasteland that they just drew. But I'm still going to put my coat on, try to get out here and do something. Force of Negation, okay. You got me. That's fine. That's a Force of Negation that they're not going to use to protect their Rhino spell, because they do have 6 mana. They could have just had a Cascade spell and then also countered my Force. Something's happening. And this match has shown another thing about this deck, where when you build your deck to not get wastelanded, and then your opponent actually finds not only 1 but 2 targets for wasteland over the course of a game, your deck struggles to function. Okay, they put mana in the pool, then change their mind. We're sending it now. Icing my planes. Okay, that's fine. I was unlikely to cast a spell this turn anyway. All right, that was a really good spell that they did turn off, but that's a problem for next turn. Waiting 1 turn to do stuff is not going to break the game here. Monkey number 3. Okay, now we're playing the game. Multiple Stone Forges, even if they counter 1, we're in business. I'm going to tutor up. Oh, I've pitched both of my coats already. I was going to say I'm going to tutor a coat here, but I guess I'm not. I'm going to tutor Cauldra. Let's go for the max. Brazen Borrower is really good against Phyrexian Germs of different varieties. Just something you got to be aware of. Fetch in the end step. 4 mana in the pool. This is Minskin Boo mana. Otawara. Okay, well, can't interact with that. Okay, they're sending an attack. This is not lethal. It puts me to 4. I guess Fire Ice kills me next turn. Lion Sash was the draw. Freaking, obviously. The last tutor target for Stoneforge is now in my hand. It's not even card advantage to play this thing. I am still going to play this thing, though. And they're going to know that I'm already holding Batterskull because I tutor nothing. Can't even throw the scent off with the Lion Sash. And I think I discard a Prismatic Ending here. I need Force Blue card. I want my creatures to make sure I don't just get tempoed out at 2 life here. Okay, no attack. Saying there's a chance. The Fairy Time Raveler, that is a universal banger in this matchup. I think I want to deal with that next turn and put in Batterskull now. So if I put in Cauldron now, I can attack. Now I'm putting in Batterskull. They got 1 card in their hand, and I have Force in mine. They would need to string together a removal spell or game-ending burn plus counter protection on these 2 cards in their hand to win. Violent Outburst. Okay. I'm going to Force of Will the Crashing Footfalls and hope that they don't draw Minskin Boo. Alright, fingers crossed. This is the whole game right now. I either connect with Batterskull and get out of easy burn range and then take over, or they find a card that kills me right now. They're spending mana. They have a lot of mana in the pool. Lorien revealed? Oh, what a banger. Don't find a Brazen Borrower, please. Blue-red in the pool. They did find a Brazen Borrower. Okay, they can put me to 1. Ay, ay, ay. This sucks so bad. Yeah, alright, cool. Well, I might as well play the Flooded Strand, because if anything works right, I'm going to have more life starting next turn. And yeah, I just have to pass here and hope that they don't have another answer to Batterskull. Come on! Well, I'm dead. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, nope, I'm not going to say anything. I was going to say how I feel about how that was we ran pretty bad, but also not allowed to complain because I pitched Lorien Revealed on turn 1, and I just narrowly lost that game on like turn 10 or whatever after playing on 2 lands, when if I just have 3 lands the whole game, it's a no contest. So yeah, just note to self that make sure you have your lands. Okay, Hydroblast, Blue Blast, Supreme Verdict. Containment Priest doesn't do anything. Deafening Silence stops Violent Outburst, but not Shardless Agent. That's only half the deck. Wait, why are my Prismatic Endings out? Who did that? Did not mean to do that. They're supposed to be here. Okay, cards that are less good include, and maybe a Prismatic Ending still does come out. Oh, Fourth Aerolingus is what I was trying to cut, and I just clicked on the wrong card. Okay, Hydroblast, Blue Blast deal with Minskin Boo. Red Blast deals with their counterplay. Damping Sphere does make the Rhino slightly harder to cast, but it also makes it harder for me to cantrip and catch up if I fall behind. Back to Basics is a heater. Is it a heater? Maybe it sucks, actually. Nope. I just imagined their mana base last game and how it was all non-basic, but I also know that they can play Blood Moon and they can support that. And also I thought about my own mana base and how I drew 2 non-basic lands that game, and I needed every land. Okay, I'm going like this. Maybe Surgical is worth consideration. Just deal with the first Rhinos, then get rid of all of them. And that's a big part of their deck you don't have to think about. Ponder. Found another Ponder and a Stoneforge. I'm putting Ponder in my hand for this Force of Will, and then jamming a turn 2 Stoneforge. Something we haven't done since round 1, which is the round that I won easily. Okay, fetch, Stoneforge Mystic. I'm going to tutor Coat. The Coat is both blue for this force, and I can cast it if I lose my Stoneforge here to a Fire Ice or Brazen Borrower. And I'm already holding Batterskull, which is the one I actually want for this matchup. Everything lining up correctly this time. Okay, they just passed. True Name, what's up, big guy? I'm going to hold on to the True Name and just pass with Stoneforge up. I could have pondered here, but maybe I need a Swords to Plowshares. Like if a Rhino does get through. Okay, they just fetched in the end step. No additional stuff. Okay, end step. Stoneforge, put in. Let's see if they do anything over the top. I'm going to put in the Batterskull. This one is more fragile than Cryptic Coat. Cryptic Coat being blue for force is so good, though. And if I protect the Batterskull with force for a turn, then we might be able to party. All right, I've untapped with 3 mana, which means that worst case scenario, I could pick up Batterskull. Attack with the Germ. We've connected. Good news, everybody. And I'm just going to pass here. I'm missing a land drop, but I think that's okay. I have more stuff I can put in off Stoneforge. They're going for Rhinos. Let's see what was revealed. Brotherhood's End, Fury, Minsc and Boo, Tidebinder. All good cards to be aware of. I'm going to force pitching, I think, True Name Nemesis, actually. True Name held the fort for me that whole last game, but against 4 power trample creatures, it's not actually good. Surprise. Okay, Rhinos are in. They forced pitching Brazen Borrower, which I don't like. That might indicate they have another one of those. Or just slamming Minsc and Boo immediately. I wouldn't care for that either. Otawara on my Germ. Germ is the correct target for that. Now I'm in an interesting spot where I think I'm going to put in Cryptic Coat and plow one of these Rhinos. That's the Swords of Plowshares under there. Sad to see it go. Tundra, Plow. I think I can outmuscle these Rhinos. I'm at 21 life. The other decision here was just let this stuff happen and figure it out with, this is good. Figure it out with Supreme Verdict. This Teferi is kind of the nuts. I can force a Minsc and Boo. I can pick up Batterskull and redeploy it. My Cloak is attacking. Oh, Stoneforge should have attacked too. I missed the damage. And I'm just going to pick up Batterskull before they can destroy it. I don't know if they're going to have Force of Vigor in or some other thing. Fury. Oh, now Supreme Verdict's actually great. And Fury can't even kill the Cloak because it has Ward. Oops. Oh, they had 2 Spirit Guides. Clever. Okay. I thought I got a blowout, but actually I still get a blowout. It's just not the blowout they thought it was. They just spent 3 cards doing something that I was going to answer 2 for 1 anyway. Now it's a 4 for 1. Supreme Verdict. Hellbent opponent. I have Force in my hand. Teferi is one of the most potent cards in the matchup. If we get there, if my opponent just bricks this turn. That's a brick. All right, deck, let's go. Teferi, Time Raveler. Bounce Cryptic Coat. And now I got a handful of action. Not worried about Minsc and Boo. They can't make Rhinos. Not worried about Fury. And I got a threat. Okay, I'm feeling ahead for the first time in 3 games here. Suspended a Crashing Footfalls. Not much else to do with that. Just a bold bet that you'll have Teferi gone by the time that shows up. Plus Teferi, play the Coat. That is a Prismatic Vista under there. Cool. Rhinos tick down. Still Hellbent over there. And all they could do is pass. Land number 5 is exciting because now I can attack for 3, pick up the Coat, replay it. That taps me out of my blast for the turn. Oh, I could just shove Batterskull. That's so much better. All right, I'm just going to cast Batterskull. That's like that, but I get more power and toughness, and I get lifelink out of the same deal. I was just excited to bounce my Coat. You know I love card advantage. Cool. All right, game 3. Didn't really see anything that would change my sideboard plan. Like Deafening Silence and Damping Sphere. I did mention Surgical as maybe something that I would want access to. If I cut Lion Sash and bring in a Surgical, that's one less thing to tutor for, and this is situational, but I do plan on the game taking a long time and surviving at least 1 Rhinos. Alright, let's try it. Force blue card. Let's go. Force blue card and Island Ponder. Everything we want in life. And a real permanent that can impact the game later on. Access to 3 mana. Looking at a Cauldron this early is not what I want to do, but it's fine. Teferi, best card in the deck. Okay, I'm going to put Vista on the bottom, Plains in my hand, and draw Teferi next turn. With all these lands coming, I don't mind pitching the Lurin Reveal to Force. Something's happening in the end step. I hope they're just cycling a Lorien. Taiga, Spirit Guide. Violent Outburst, alright. It's showtime. Force of Will, pitching Lorien Revealed. Do you have the Force as well? Hell yeah, we're gaming. Okay. I take 8 down to 11. I plow one of these, then I Teferi bounce the other one, and hope that this is all they got. They did use basically their whole hand to do that. Teferi's in my hand now. I'm going to plow on their turn. That just turns off Force and Negation. Swords to Plowshares now. Cool. that resolved. That gives me a lot of breathing room. Cycling Lorien revealed. 2 cards in hand. And they didn't counter Swords of Plowshares when they could have. It's going to be a big play. Don't Teferi me, bro. Or don't force me, bro. Get Teferied is what I'm trying to say. Big check. We're in there. Cash that check. Get out of here. Rhino. And we're stable at 6 life. And they can't send another can of Rhinos till they deal with Teferi. And I have Wandering Emperor for the next wave. Okay. I feel like we're here. Stoneforge Mystic, what's up? Stoneforge does make Fury really good. Like, it exactly kills Stoneforge plus Teferi, making that really tempting. But Stoneforge is too good not to just put into play here. I'm not going to like hold up Wandering Emperor just in case they want to spend 2 cards to Fury my board. It suspended a Footfalls. That was clearly the draw for turn when what they did last turn couldn't interact with what I was doing. Plus Teferi, I am going to ponder. Hydroblast checks one of the things I was still worried about in this game. And I'm going to hold back for Batterskull here. I'm going to Skull first. I'm going to attack with Batterskull and Cauldron next turn, is the plan, basically. Otawara is a way they can clear Teferi on a clutch turn without me being able to interact with it. Okay, just passing into the end step, no land. That means no Otawara. Batterskull's in. Start gaining that life back. The tides are turning. Plus Teferi. I started to go into combat, then remembered I also have Cauldron. Here we go. It's not too late. Now I'm pretty firmly driving, and I just want to make my opponent dead before they navigate this. Okay, 10 to 13. Life totals are evening up. Rhino's down to 2. And number 4. Is it Minsc and Boo time? I'm ready. This is not Minsc and Boo mana. Force of Vigor targeting just Batterskull. Well, I can't save it here, so it's gone. That was a reasonable play. I'm not super worried about it, but it was reasonable. And Stoneforge Mystic. Is that how I want to do this? They're dead in 5 puts them to 7, 5, 6, 7. Wandering Emperor is lethal, so I'm just going to attack with both my creatures and plus Teferi. Even if they have the Otawara, they're a turn too late on it. They'll be dead before these Rhinos come down. I have exactly enough to beat a Minsc and Boo or a Fury, plus play Wandering Emperor. And they packed it up. GG's opponent, we did it. I punted game 1 by not respecting my mana, and then we won the games where we had mana. On to the next round.
The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is available exclusively through Coalesce Apparel. This Magic player-owned business is a staple of our community. They keep this channel on the air, and it's my pleasure to partner with them for this product. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market. They have awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll to get 10% off your order, only at coalesceapparel.shop.
I'm on the play in round number 4. Island Ponder, baby. Let's go. And my hand's already full of land, so I know this Ponder is just looking for spells. Preferably Stoneforge Mystic even would be the ideal one. Didn't even have to fetch. This is a true Island Ponder Keep BoshNRoll situation. Opponent once again mentioned it in the chat. Shout out to all my opponents who are cool and clearly have good taste in life. Do I want 3 Force of Wills? And those will pad me out on my way up to Teferi. Yeah, I'll keep this. It's not the Stoneforge Mystic I was looking for, but it is interaction. And now I don't have to pitch Teferi if I force. Flagstones of Trocare. Okay. Mox Diamond, we are playing against Green-White Depths. Force of Will's not great, but it will find targets. This Zenith is going to get an Elvish Reclaimer and kick in their whole engine. I am going to fight over this. They are a Wasteland deck, dedicated Wasteland deck, in fact. They've got Crop Rotations, Knight of the Reliquaries. They got a lot of access to Wasteland. Wooded Foothills. If they play a Knight here, I could just bounce it and keep the game going. I generally consider this matchup to be poor for me, but we do have tools to play it. Yep, there's a Knight. It's just hard to get ahead of this deck. We're good at not dying for a while, but eventually, you can't just like bounce Knight of the Reliquary forever. It's eventually going to kill you. And I am going to keep playing on basics, hide this Volcanic Island. Teferi, get in. Send this Knight back. I'll time walk. There's a Ponder. Now I'm going to have to make decisions about forcing Knight on the way back down or trying to ponder into a white removal spell. I have to make this decision immediately. I'm going to force pitching the Lorien Revealed. I don't want to take any risks here, and this allows me to ponder for Stoneforge Mystic and be proactive rather than just spinning my wheels being reactive. Fourth Aerlingus, oh baby. Okay, send one horse in with the Swords of Plowshares to back it up. Let's go. First appearance of this card in the league, or first casting of this card. I've had it in my hand at least once. Remember how I said we're good at not dying, but it's hard to get ahead? Being the Monarch is the type of thing that might flip the script here for me. Okay, let's go. I've sat up straight in my chair. I'm excited now. They do have 5 cards in their hand to my 2. They just found Thespian Stage. They can crop rotation in the main phase, but not as an instant, thanks to Teferi. They did not float mana off this flagstones. That's interesting. Just rotated. Luckily, I'm holding the plow if they make Merit Lage here. So I don't even know if that makes sense to do. Okay, they're at least pumping the brakes on it. If they had floated white off the flagstones, they could have made it here. Okay, plus Teferi, cast Ponder. Here we go. Hand chock full of white removal. And I am going to draw this plow off the Monarch. Okay, I'll attack for 2. They can't make a Dryad Arbor here and take the Monarch from me, which is the thing I'd be worried about. Monarch trigger. There are 2 plows in my hand. Maybe with the Teferi Plus, I was actually supposed to get Prismatic Ending. Okay, they plowed my horse. That's fine. That damage is already done. And Teferi can exile Dark Depths here, or Merit Lage, without giving them 20 life. If I even care about that, but I guess I'm not a Jace the Mind Sculptor deck, so I do care about that. Draw trigger, and being the Monarch's busted. I would like more of this in my life. I actually think I'm going to plow it anyway and just do the work to deal an extra 20 damage to them, because Prismatic Ending has other targets in their deck, like Sylvan Library, or this Mox Diamond that's in play and they haven't played a land, or no, they just killed 2 lands, never mind. But they just killed 2 of their own lands. Wasteland, that can find a target if they want it. And we're keeping them low here. I could Spell Pierce something like Green Sun Zenith. Ooh, the coat. I can Teferi bounce this Mox Diamond and just make them replay it. That's actually nuts. Get out of here. That's just such a beating. And I could Brainstorm first, or just play Coat and leave up Swords to Plowshares. Or I could play Coat and leave up Spell Pierce. I'm going to Coat leaving up Spell Pierce. And I've got the other Coat under there. Okay, let's go. Monarch trigger. We've got a threat. And we got 35 life to get through. And 35 cards in my deck. I'm going to Brainstorm in the end step just for velocity to do anything here. Back up to Fairy and Solitude. I draw the Solitude. Plus to Fairy. And I'm going to cycle Lorien Revealed. And I'm going to get Tundra. I know it plays into Wasteland, but I think that's okay at this point. That's the way that Lorien Revealed can cast Solitude in the future, which is something that needs to happen. And end step trigger, Force of Negation in the grip. Flagstones, they're going to start playing the game again. Knight of the Reliquary is pretty big here. Swords to Plowshares with Ward. Yeah, pay the Ward, and then I Spell Pierce afterwards. Yeah, I'll take my Spell Pierce here. I have more cards in my hand than I really know what to do with. It's a good problem to have. I could pick up the Coat here and plan to replay it next turn, or I could Brainstorm and look for Stoneforge to really put the beats on. All right, there we go. Stoneforge has joined the club. Basic Mountain is relevant because I am holding Prismatic Ending in my hand. Plus to Fairy, attack for 3, and then I'm just going to get Cauldra and try to get this game over. Mountain, Stoneforge, yes, Cauldra, and pass. Picked up another Stoneforge. Now we can start doing the Brainstorm trick where you brainstorm expensive weapons into your deck, then just tutor them back up with Stoneforge. Okay, they packed it up. They still have 29 life, but they realize that they are pretty far behind. Okay, gotta beat a creature deck here that also can produce Merit Lage. Containment Priest is not irrelevant. I like Supreme Verdict. Dress Down isn't worthless, but it's not great. Surgical isn't worthless, but it's not great. Meltdown and Alpine Moon are both not worthless, but not great. I have to respect Choke. That's the scariest card that they have. Choke and Sylvan Library. They do use their graveyard. I like Lion Sash. I actually think I got super lucky finding a spot to stick that 4th Aer Lingus, but maybe that is the play pattern that we need to commit to. I'm going to cut Force of Negation. I think I cut one of the coats, actually. That creature is just kind of mopey versus their deck, and I really don't want to cut any of my weapons because they're all good. Any of my other weapons. The Stoneforge just is really good with all the other ones. Teferi is mid, but did dominate that game. I need one more cut here. Back to Basics can catch them unawares. They do play basic lands in their deck, but this might also just be a huge blowout. They have Mox Diamonds as well. I could play around it. I'm not going to take them back to Basics. I'm going to beat them fair and square with my cards that kill all their creatures. I like this hand a lot. I get to play on Basics. I can answer their first creature, and then I have ways to attack their engines after that. Unfortunately, they're on the play, which makes all of this a lot harder. That one resolves. Second Plow unlocks a lot of action here, because now I can plow their turn 2 play and hold up Spell Pierce for a Zenith or Choke. The worst thing they can do to me here is play 2 Elvish Reclaimers, and they played a Dryad Arbor, which is lucky because that card cannot enter the battlefield under the rules of Magic with a Containment Priest in play. I'm actually going to plow this and hold up the Spell Pierce. They're going to crop rotate it. That's really good. I'm going to pierce the rotation. Just trying to mess up their early game here. If they can't cast creatures, then they don't have creatures either. It's just like killing creatures, but better because I don't even have to worry about it. I should have waited for their turn, though. No, but then the Arbor could tap itself. There's no real play there. Oh, Mazavith. That's an annoying one that I didn't really think about. I'm not going to lie. And I have missed land number 3. I hope they play Zenith now. Like, Back to Basics does shut down tech stuff like that Mazavith. Come on, land. That is a land. And guess what? Cryptic Coat. This thing is ward. Can't Mazavith this with only one other land in play. Wait, what just happened? Oh, Containment Priest. I just learned a rules interaction. Wow, I was talking a lot of trash, but that was pretty bad. Yeah, I guess cloaked manifested creatures are not tokens. They're not normally creatures either, but whoops. I deleted that Prismatic Vista forever. Okay, Teferi Time Raveler go into play. And I think I plus Teferi this turn and chill for a minute. My plan eventually is to remove my own Containment Priest and play Cryptic Coat. Brainstorm. I'll start with Brainstorm. Lorien Revealed, ending, Verdict. Alright, I don't think I need Verdict for a while here. This Lorien Revealed might happen as soon as next turn. Teferi answers their next permanent. Okay, I'm going to put back Prismatic Ending and Supreme Verdict. A little risky. Now I'm going to put back Verdict and Force. I'm just not worried about what they might do. I'm going to Ponder. Here we go. True Name Nemesis. Put the Verdict down, draw the Force, draw Nemesis next turn. Plus Teferi again. Nemesis cannot be Mazavith, and then it's just a matter of time. Okay. New plan. Uh-oh. They went from 1 mana to 3 very quickly. That's tough. Endurance. Do I care about this? No. Yeah, that's just something for Teferi to bounce. And they tap their Mazavith to cast it, so I get 2 damage in here. Endurance targeted nobody. Their plan to deck me remains strong. They do only have green mana, which is pretty lucky for me. Bounce this Endurance. Attack for 2. And then Nemesis. Basically, this deck's plan for True Name Nemesis is get hit in chunks of 3 until one of us dies. Here's Endurance back again. I'm going to cycle for my Volcanic Island here and just hold up Prismatic Ending for that one. Island cycle, get the Volk. Ooh, Re-Teferi. Alright, I mean, I'm also fine just skipping the stones for a little bit. Oh, Re-Nemesis as well. Okay, well, I was going to remove Endurance, but now I'm just getting in with my Nemesis action. And I can pick up my Cryptic Coat, pitch it to Force since it doesn't work with Priest in play. Priest could just be another card. I guess like Grafdigger's Cage would shut this down too. I've never had to think about this before. I just found land number 4. We know they're holding Endurance. No surprises there. I'm going to pick up the Coat. And I'm just going to start my turn by casting Teferi. They got to go to cleanup. Dump to Prismatic Ending. Big Solitude. Okay, play Teferi. If they want to play Endurance, they got to do it now. And then I just bounce it. If they want to crop rotate, they got to do it now. Okay, they replayed Endurance, tapping the Maze of Ith to do it. That leaves up white mana. They might have a Plow for my Priest. Fetching in response to Endurance's trigger. I'm going to let them Plow the Priest. If they do that, this Force of Will is just good enough for whatever comes next. Ooh, Legolas's Quick Reflexes. Alright, well, I guess I'm not bouncing Endurance this turn. That's cool. It doesn't do much, but it's cool. Attack for 6. And plus Teferi, I can just block this Endurance with Containment Priest. Swords of Plowshares. Okay. I don't care about this. It's fine. They're just dead in 2 hits to True Name Nemesis, and Teferi doesn't matter, doesn't need to draw cards, Endurance doesn't matter. I can force or ending some other stuff if they play it. Ramanab Excavator. They have Dried Arbor in the graveyard. Fine. These don't stop True Name Nemesis, which is what this whole game is about at this point. Gotta fetch land. I might be able to fetch another Arbor, depending on how many they play. Plus Teferi, which turns on Prismatic Ending. Switch it to 1. And I'm chilling. I'm not going to play this Cryptic Coat. There's a Plains. They've got plenty of mana at this point. 4 cards still in hand. Knight of the Reliquary does not beat me. Just attacking Teferi. Does this matter? And I guess things are just easier if Teferi's in play. It's just nothing I have to worry about. They can't like crop rotate for Glacial Chasm, which I have force for anyway. We got the GGs. And they went out on their own terms by fetching like a boss. On to the final round, let's go.
We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league.
I'm on the draw in the final round. Positive Records Locked, playing for the bread and butter 4-1. This is not Island Ponder Keep. This is Death and Taxes. But if I draw an island, it's Island Ponder Keep. I'm going to try this. If they're combo, I lose. But if they're a fair deck, I'm actually in good shape. And they are quickly mulling to 4 cards, so they're probably not a fair deck. I hope they are, though. That really makes my hand better. Okay, 4 cards. Oh, it's Mississippi River. Yeah, we are... I need back to basics to beat this deck. Plains go. I have a Damping Sphere in my sideboard. Haven't been leaving home without it much lately. Mossfire Valley. Oh, do you have like actual spells in your deck now? Oh, it's like a weird... Oh, Tybalt's Trickery. Sure. Okay, it's just low to the ground Mississippi River. It'll get there eventually. What just happened? They milled Maelstrom Wanderer and then... What? Literally, what just happened? I don't know if they declined to cast their spell or... Oh, they hit another Tybalt's Trickery. That's what happened. I don't think that fail rate happens often, but boy, will I take it. Okay, I'm going to grab a Cauldron here and just get racing. Cauldron complete. Go. Boros Stoneblade. All right, looks like they could send it again. Unlikely that they'll miss twice. They're probably out of Tybalt's Trickeries. All right, there's a Trickery, which is going to cast Trumpeting Carnosaur. Okay, I think they're off from here. There's a Creative Technique. Wish I had a Force of Will. They did demonstrate. Probably doesn't matter. Cryptic Coat. Hell yeah. Putting that into play. I wish that was Teferi. That became a Scalding Tarn. They techniqued into a technique. Please demonstrate it. Please hit a Teferi. All right, Teferi. All right, Brainstorm. Let's go. Probably too late for this one to matter. Back to basics. Island. Okay, I think we've lost. Call Forth the Tempest is a card that they've just cast. Call Forth the Tempest deals damage to each creature your opponent's controlled equal to the total number of total mana value of other spells you've cast this turn. Okay, so all my creatures are super freaking dead. Throes of Chaos. This can miss, right? If they Violent Outburst, are they out of Tybalt's Trickeries yet? How does this work? There's a Tybalt's Trickery. There's Emrakul. Okay. You did it. Oh, it's some Apex Devastators. All right. Okay. Deafening Silence, Surgical Extraction, Damping Sphere, Hydroblasts all come in. Things that come out, Prismatic Ending, Swords of Plowshares. If they get creatures into play, they've pretty much already won. Containment Priest doesn't do anything against their deck, but it does do things to my deck, as I've learned. Fourth Aerolingus could apply pressure. I like all 5 forces, obviously. I don't think I like Supreme Verdict. Meltdown, Red Blast. Teferi's the nuts. Okay. This, I believe, is the deck I can present. Or Lion's Sash might not matter. And Dress Down, if their one piece of action is Carnosaur, like it was that game, Dress Down actually does stop that. And Lion's Sash doesn't really do anything. And that ups my blue count. Okay. We're going like this. That's much better. And it still has problems. I need lands, but I'm unlikely to die immediately. That was a mull to 4. They really put me in my place. That was a mull to 4 and they missed on their first send. I wonder if this is a new, like, really turbo slanted build that tries to send it early every time. Okay, Island, pass. If I just hit my next 2 land drops, I think I win. Sandstone Needle. Come on deck. Land. Ponder. Okay, Ponder. This taps me out of Blue Blast, but I'm still sending it. We hit all the lands. Okay. Oh, I should have put Volk on top. Now if I Blue Blast, I have to fetch. And then I lose the land. That was bad. I stacked that Ponder wrong. Okay, not going to be punished for it. And Volcanic Island gets locked under my own back to basics. And leaves Blue Blast as my only action spell. Or my only thing to pitch to force. I'm going to pass here. Mossfire Valley. Sack. Okay. We're taking a ride on the Creative Technique Express. Okay, that shuffles away the card that was on top of my deck. I get to demonstrate first. Oh, yeah! Damping Spheres on the stack. And Blue Elemental Blast your Creative Technique. The original one. Surgical Extract the Creative Techniques out of your deck. Emrakul, Apex Devastator, Trumpeting Carnosaur is the hand. And they can demonstrate one time, or I could just force this. Oh, they can't even cast the spell. All right, yeah, go ahead, demonstrate. Or, yeah, because this costs 1, and then I just back to basics them. Hell yeah. That's how we do it. They are showing a Beseiju in their hand. Hate that. But if I back to basics them, it might not matter. Don't even have to tap my land now. Found the goods. And I am going to fetch up Plains because I'd like to cast this Wandering Emperor at some point. Lock it down, team. Hell yeah. Better not demonstrate the next one. I mean, this is the deck I can build. I could turn a 4th Aerolingus into a Dress Down and up my blue count again. I think I actually should do that. It's non-zero. That it matters against their deck with the Carnosaurs, and then it also ups my blue. And it cantrips if I'm like trying to hit land number 3. I think I'll keep this hand. What do you think, team? Is this a good one? Just my 2 most potent sideboard cards, Force Blue card, and my best threat? Now that I talk trash like that, I'm going to lose for sure. They mulled to 5 again. I can get a basic Plains now. Silence. Another Force. I think I want to put the pressure on them with Stoneforge here. Oh, but if I do that and they have Beseiju, I just lose. All right. Cover it. Yeah, because if I play Stoneforge and then they Beseiju, D-Silence, untap, and win, that would be really embarrassing from this position. Stoneforge, get that Cauldra. I could get a Coat and just have Force Blue card in case they get through my hate pieces, but I have 2 of them and they've indicated no ability to get through them. This deck can't play Force of Vigor. It just doesn't work with their engine. Another land. And begin the beats. Attack for 5. Okay, there are 15, 4 cards in hand, 2 hate pieces in play. I'm holding Force. Now I'm holding 2 forces. Kind of. They'd have to remove Damping Sphere. They have to remove my hate pieces before any of this matters anyway. But if they do remove them both, I can hardcast a Force and pitchcast a Force. Something's happening. Yeah, Damping Sphere turns all these into 1-mana lands also. Just extra funny. They don't even have, they have half as much mana as they even think they do. Plus, they can't really cast spells. Ancient Tomb deals 2 to you for 1 damage, for 1 mana. It's so funny. And they scooped it. They realized what was going on. Too much hate. Don't leave home without Damping Sphere in your control decks these days. 4-1 record with some run bads against Red Prison. This deck actually felt pretty solid and reasonably positioned. However, the thing I was saying in round 2 or 3, whenever that was, that it came to my mind, not having a draw engine when draw engines are like so free these days, like a Beanstalk and Uro, just even something like I would consider the Initiative in engine. You're not drawing, but it's providing advantage as the turns tick forward without additional resource investment. This deck only has 1 Wandering Emperor, and even the Cryptic Coat, which is a cool piece. We did get to do some cool coat stuff. We learned a cool interaction with Godamon Priest. We saw some cool stuff here, and we have like some ways to get ahead on cards, but I feel like I'd want a Jace the Mind Sculptor or Comet Stellar Pup, something that can sit and play and tick up more than the deck currently provides. Though 4th Aerolingus kind of does that, and you could play more 4th Aerolingus if you want. Like if you want to take the bet that you'll always be playing from ahead, you could play 3, but I don't think that's true in this Ancient Tomb stompy metagame that we're playing into these days. You could play 1 4th Aerolingus and just find it when you want it. I do kind of like that this build leans forward with the True Names, the Stone Forges, and the 4th Aerolingus, and it's not sitting back trying to Jace or Comet people. In Solitude's totally a flex slot. This is just a card that I've been enjoying in Legacy lately, so I put in the deck. That could be something else. I don't know that I'd go lower than 2 Lorien Revealed. Wandering Emperor could be a different Planeswalker. Teferi could be a different Planeswalker, though Teferi was a rock star this whole league. The Spell Pierce is a flex slot. Lion Sash is a flex slot. Back to Basics is a flex slot. The 2 coats are flex slots. You can find room for stuff if you want it. And that's where I'm going to leave this, but this did feel really nice, and it was fun to get back to basics. 7 of them. Island, Ponder, Keep, Back to Basics, traditional BoshNRoll Magic, with a good record to boot. Happy to sign off there. Diz, thank you for the invite to play this deck. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.